corruption. And what angers me most about the three of you who knew it was happening, not in the normal course of doing township business, but because at least one member of this office had a dream for this property, is that you have just lent credibility to every accusation of corruption that might be directed at this board. Now when someone floats some wild rumor about a hidden agenda, there is reason to believe it could be true. When I ran for office 4 years ago, my detractors were all too happy to accuse me of having a hidden agenda. And I had no idea what they were talking about. This is what a hidden agenda looks like. I'm embarrassed with this board, and I offer my deepest apologies to our residents.
And I do have some questions. Was it disclosed to the rest of the board that there are certain members of this board, I think the three-time elector, I should state, that was Mark Freeman. Mark, did you state to the rest of the board in September of '09 that the township had interest in obtaining this property? Did the rest of the board know that?
This is public comment, Mr. Hawkins.
That's right. That's right. Okay, well, let me answer the question. It is, because the agent of PHH Bank, or their agent, received an email from Holly Township indicating that Mr. Freeman has indicated that he would like to obtain this property in the name of Holly Township. Number two, does the rest of this board know that the full-time elected officials did not offer any cooperation to PHH Bank or the title company to split this property? I'll answer that question too. You gave no cooperation. Matter of fact, it was stated that this property will never be split and it will remain one 20-acre parcel. These came out of your records. Thank you very much.
I'm going to speak to you today about bullies and bullying. A lot of discussion lately has been on the fact that in our schools, our children have to endure a lot of bullying, intimidation. Well, children learn to endure it. But when it comes from adults on township boards, I find that sickening.
We elected you to uphold the law. Upholding the law on land division is one of those. You knew and have known and still know there is no 10-acre deed matching your description that matches any legal description within the county. You keep waiving this fraudulent bank mortgage like it's worth 10 acres of land at zero. It was always a worthless piece of paper. It still is a worthless piece of paper. And for that worthless piece of paper, you're destroying my family. You raped them. You raped them of everything I've ever tried to provide for them. All our history, all our books, all our legal papers, all our clothing, all our food, everything got destroyed in the last 3 weeks. And I'm sure you're proud of that fact, Jesse, because I read your comments too on your emails, and it was a fine day to evict us. Was it really? 3 days of freezing rain? We worked 18 hours a day, ate one meal a day, but we saved what we could from the scrappers, who was really just the district court officers, who were very disappointed the Thursday morning they came back and didn't get all my tools. You have no concept. I know Roger was there having a good old time, smiling and just laughing in my face while they were doing this. But to have all my tools and my organized bins dumped upside down on the driveway outside of my barn so that I had nothing but a mess to pick up, and it's still full of screws and nails. And I was by there the other day and I looked, and it was just, my yard's trashed. I have to go through and separate to even use that driveway. A lot of work in the future. Then I see the oil slick. I had 2 gallons of motor oil I keep in my barn. It was from an oil change that I worked with parts. They went right outside my barn and dumped it on the ground. Now this is from an environmental crew. I prided myself at being an organic farm. You destroyed my business. I can't do business this year. My tools are all getting destroyed out in the rain now. My wife's business as a landscaper has been inundated again. You've taken over the land so we can't grow our own organic food. So you're interfering with my children's health and my health and our food. And you still sit there with smiles on your face. I wonder what kind of public officials you really are, because you really belong in jail.
It started in 2009 when PHH Mortgage foreclosed on the mortgage of the said 10 acres. PHH Mortgage foreclosed and the Smiths signed a consent order of eviction, agreeing to the eviction in, I believe it was October or November of 2009. After they had been evicted and the property removed, PHH Mortgage conveyed that 10 acres of the 20-acre parcel to Holly Township. Holly Township then had a quitclaim deed that was recorded at Register of Deeds for the 10 acres of the 20-acre parcel. Holly Township then proceeded to put fencing up and demarcating through a survey what the 10 acres is, the legal description that's been recorded actually is. Judge in the district court at that time, I'm trying to remember, Judge Colleen O'Brien, there was some dispute about whether or not Judge Colleen O'Brien actually quieted title in the township. But the township's attorney's position is, Colleen O'Brien, and this is getting very technical with the law, but Colleen O'Brien dismissed the Smiths complaint, leaving those 3 documents showing the township owed the 10 acres. We convinced Judge Costin in the district court that we own that 10 acres. Judge Costin said she wanted to wait because the Smiths had appealed Judge Colleen O'Brien's decision. I'm sorry, no, that's not true. Wait. I'm sorry. What happened, Judge Colleen O'Brien gives, we went to district court, and with those 3 documents, we asked the district court judge to grant the eviction. The judge heard all of the arguments and agreed that the township owns that 10 acres.